Hello friends, this is part 18 of our application development series Colors, Background and Borders. In this session we will learn color selection in CSS and background and borders creation in CSS. Now color selection in CSS. Colors can be selected in CSS in following ways. First one is giving a direct color name just like red, blue, orange, pink, okay, just like we are doing till now. Second one is the RGB format. If you are not aware of the RGB format, R stands for red, G stands for green, B stands for blue. Every color is a mix of RGB numbers. RGB, this value can range from 0 to 255. Okay, we will see that in a bit. And you can also give colors to in hexadecimal formats, right? So first let us see these 3 points with an example. So this is my CSS, and which says H1 has to appear in blue color and paragraph has to appear in red color. Okay, and this is my test.html where this is referring this style sheet, and I am having 3 H1s and 2 paragraphs. Okay, and if I launch this web page, I can see my headings are appearing in sorry, blue color, whereas my content of the paragraph is coming in red color. Okay, so in this case I am giving a direct color name blue red, right? Just like the slides, color names can be given in RGB format where R stands for red, G stands for green, and B stands for blue. So here also I can give my color name as RGB format. Okay, RGB, and I said RGB, and value can change from 0 to 255. For example, if I say I want just red, complete red, so I'll give it complete red, and other colors I will change to 0. Okay, so that my color will be red. Okay, save the changes and with the web page. Okay, my headings are in the red color. If I remove this red element and make the blue element as 255, so my heading color, sorry, green, RGB, for green, so the color will appear in the green color because other elements color is 0, but only green is 255, so color is changed to green. Okay, similarly if I remove this to 0 and make it 255, so that red and green components are 0 but blue component is 255, so color will change to blue. Okay, so every color that you can imagine is a combination of these three. For example, if I want little red also, for example I want 100 of red element and 0 for this and 255 for this, so color will change to slightly this thing. Okay, save the changes and view it. It may not be that much visible. uh, Let me change the blue component as 125. Let us say 125. Okay, so that it becomes a violet. Okay, add a green component also. Let us say 80 is a greenish, so it will change its color to some this shade. Okay, but remembering RGB for every color is quite a difficult exercise, and you cannot remember and memorize every RGB color. For that, we can take the help from internet, and there is a nice website. Just type on Google HTML color picker. It will give you this nice interface. For example, if you want this shade of red or orange, just just put the cursor here. It will show you the RGB values. Just copy them and paste it right there. Okay, so that you will see the color in. You give the color in RGB format. Save the changes and view your web page. You can see the shade is applied. Okay, or some other color. Try some other color. Let us say here in this shade of blue. I want this shade of blue. Just copy these RGB colors, RGB values, and put in right here RGB, so that color will be applied. Okay, save the changes and view your web page. You can see that shade is applied. Okay, so till now we have given the color as a direct one and in the RGB format. What I will do is in my test.html I'll make it h2. Okay, And if I see my web page now, see only style is applied to these H1s. H2 style is not applied to H2 because there is no styling for H2 right now in CSS. So for that also I'll have one more style for H2, same style as H1. Okay, but as the slide said, colors can also be given in hexadecimal formats. If you see, colors can also be given in hexadecimal format. Okay, so if you see this color picker, just above this the value is coming in hex format also. So either you can give the hex value or RGB values. Okay, that does not make a difference. uh, I'll copy that and paste it here for H2. I'll make it for H2, and color is, I'll have that value hash this, so that my H1 and H2 both are applied as same style. If I save the changes and you see, now style is the same. Okay, the color is the same basically. So what we have seen till now, we have applied the direct color name, we have applied the color in the RGB format, and we have applied color in the hex format. Okay, there is one more thing. If you want to add transparency in the color, you can give color in RGB format where A stands for alpha component. Okay, I have written a small note here. A component, if value of A component is 0, then it is fully transparent. If A is 1, then transparency is completely lost, and value should be in between 0 and 1 to view the transparency. Lesser the number, more is the transparency. Not clear? Don't worry. What I'll have is, I'll make it RGBA, and also I'll remove this hex format and have this number, have this similar style. Okay, RGBA. For RGBA, this is R value, this is G value, this is B value. Okay, what I'll do is, for this I will add a transparency of 0.8, and for this I will have the transparency of 0.4. Okay, one more thing I will do is, let me make this H3 so that changes are visible clearly, and I'll add one more style for heading 3 in my CSS. Heading 3, and for this heading 3 my transparency is 0.2. So color is same for everyone, every element H1, H2, H3, but transparency, this is the least transparent, this should be little more transparent, and this is the most transparent element. Okay, save your changes and now see the web page. If we see, this is the least transparent, this is more transparent than this heading one, and this is the most transparent among all these three headings. Okay, also as the slide said, this value can vary from 0 to 1. So if I say 0, this is 0, means it is fully transparent, that means it will not be visible. And if I make it 1, that means there is no transparency for this element. Okay, save the changes and now view the web page. The element H1 is still there, but it's not visible. Being is, reason being, the it is fully transparent. Okay, so now we have seen that we can give color as a direct number, RGB format, hexadecimal, or this RGBA format. Okay, now that was about colors. Now for background of an element can be set using background property. Color or images can be set as background. Let us see that first. Now let us say I want the background of this heading as orange. Okay, so I can use background property. Yes, sorry, spelling is mistaken, I think. Spelling is mistaken. Okay, so background is orange. So if we save the changes and see our web page, you can see the background of H1 is orange. Content is not visible, the reason being it is there but it's not visible, the reason being it's transparency. Let us remove the transparency and make it 1. Save the changes and now we will page. we can see a background of orange color for the heading one. Okay, so color you can just again you can give the color in direct format or RGB format or RGB format or hexadecimal format, the way you wish. Okay, so also now I will add a body element. For the body I'll have the background color of, sorry, let me have it pink. Okay, save the changes and view the changes. My background is appearing in pink color. Okay, heading one background is orange color and body background is pink color. So just like I said in the slide, color or images can be set as background. Okay, so I'll set an image as a background. uh, I have this image. Okay, I'll copy this image address, and for this I'll use background image property to set the image as a background. Make use of URL and paste that URL. Save the changes and now view the web page. This page. So we can see that the background image has been set, but there is a problem that background image is being repeated. Background image is not that big, and to fill it, it is being repeated all the time. One tile, two tile. This is called tiling basically. Okay, this is called tiling. One, two, three, four. Okay. So to avoid tiling, there is a property background repeat. I'll set it as no repeat. Save the changes and now with the web page. Now my image is not being repeated all over the page, but still there is a problem. This single image is not being stretched to the complete page. Okay, so for that, to stretch the image to complete page, set background size style to cover. Okay, so what I will do is I'll go to my CSS. Sizes cover. Okay, save the changes. Now we can see that single image is being stretched to my complete page, and this is my background. Okay, so one more thing pending here is, like just like I have set the image from external resource, just like that I can have the image from my local resource. I have pasted one image, same image woods.jpg inside the same directory. If I say that this is the same image, so instead of the external URL I can have this local image referenced also. I will go to CSS, and instead of this URL I will have this, the name of this image woods.jpg. Okay, save the changes, and still you can see that background is there. Okay, so that's all that now about borders. To create a border, one has to set these all three borders related properties. One is width. For that we should use border width property. Second one is color, and third is style. For the width we should use border width property. For color we should use border color property, and for style we should use border style property. Some available styles are solid, dashed, dotted, etc. Okay, we'll see that example. So I'll set my border for h1. Set border width 2px. Okay, border color, let us say black. I want black border. And border style, it's, for example I want solid border. Okay, save the changes and now view the work page. I can see there is a nice black border of 2 pixels around heading 1. Okay, if any one of the properties is not given, border will not be drawn. For example, I'll comment this. Okay, and if I save the changes now, I'll see my border is gone. Okay, so all these three properties are required to set up a border. Okay, there is one shorthand also. It's not required to, I mean you should not you should not use all three at one go. There is just one shorthand also. For that you can use border property, and border for that, say 2px black, and let us say dashed. I want dashed border for this. Okay, this statement will work as it is. Okay, so if we see my h2 now, you can see that there is a dashed border around h2 in a black one. Okay, so that's it for this session. Thanks for listening. And in the next session, we'll study about element selector, ID selector, and class selector. Okay. Thanks for listening and have a great day.